So my name is Carla Marquez, and this is my disabilities project presentation. For my project, I chose autism and speech and language impairments. Speech and language impairment in students. A speech impairment is the difficulty of articulation in words. Sounds, syllables, and phonology are difficult to create by the student, which can cause communication issues between the teacher and student or their peers. It can cause frustration, anxiety. A language impairment is the difficulty of sharing thoughts and ideas. The impairment can create difficulty of understanding what the student is trying to express. Grammar, morphology, syntax, semantics, and pragmatics are mainly affected by language impairment. Anything relating to grammar can cause the student to have issues with the language, especially if it isn't their first language. They can have issues trying to understand the English language. Autism in students. Autism is a developmental disability, mainly affecting social interactions and communication within teachers and peers in the school. Engagement, environmental changes, changes in routine, and responses can cause reactions from the student. Some developmental implications found in speech and language impairment. Speech and language impairments creates obstacles for students to interact with both teachers and peers within the classroom environment. Stuttering, lisping, aphasia, dysarthria, etc. are different forms of speech impediments. This can cause the student to have a form of anxiety, uh, discourage them from interacting with one another, especially if they're afraid of being judged by the way they speak or something that they don't understand. It can cause issues for them to hesitate asking questions to teachers if they need help in a instruction. In an academic setting, students with impairments can cause issues for learning proper language format, especially creating sentences and using vocabulary can be difficult for the student to express in their speech. For students, language development is substantial for the students to learn language basics and speech skills. Or students with autism, developmental implications. Interactions can be a developmental implication between students and peers. Due to students with autism having a different method of expressing how they feel. They also have emotional sensitivity, anxiety, empathy, attention transition, expression, socialization, and communication. That are the main developmental implications that teachers find and focus on. Um, Usually for those, students rely on gestures, routines so they feel less anxious and comfortable in the classroom. Um, and strategies and supports for both of these disabilities. Usually the main important thing to use is using the UDL instruction, which helps the teacher adapt to student needs for both students in the spectrum or speech and learning impairments. Uh, for UDL, usually scaffolding is a technique that is really important to use. It helps satisfy the student's needs in the instruction. It will help the teacher guide the student throughout the assignment or curriculum to strengthen their students' academic learning. There's different types of scaffolding strategies. Number one is use of first language. That'll help them get comfortable as they're learning a new language or new way of language format. Reading out loud helps the students feel encouraged into participating within with the teacher and the students. It also helps them develop skills into helping them speak and better grammar. Modeling and gestures, that also helps students. Give them like a visual aid to support their thoughts and expressions. Um, Small group work, partner work, having the students work with each other helps them reduce anxiety on how difficult an assignment can be. They can help each other and they will feel less as if they're going to be judged, which helps them encourage themselves to participate, to speak without having to feel bad. Sentence structures, starters, they also, that helps the students warm up with the teacher or with the class, with the peers. To kind of get a basic of like an understanding of what is expected in the instruction. Um, Connecting to background knowledge, that is another. Graphic organizers help them have a visual aid and supporting the speech instruction, verbal instruction from the teacher. It helps them create a deeper understanding of the lesson. Visuals and Relia is the same thing as the graphic organizers. It's just a different method. You can use objects, pictures to explain further detail for both of these disabilities. Um, Usually in autistic students, they rely more on images due to the better detail of what they're learning. Um, and for speech and language students, having an image with the side of text or with the side of a verbal instruction also helps them create a deeper understanding of what they're trying to learn. It helps support what the teacher is trying to tell them. Here are some strategies and support for autism instruction. Like I said earlier, students with autism are known to demonstrate strength in visual learning and thinking. It is known they learn best through visual aids, pictures, diagrams, modeling, and gestures. Students with autism need an instruction that provide visual learning and routines to reduce the anxiety and better create an understanding of what is expected and what needs to be learned. For modeling and gesturing, it helps the student find deeper engagement and participation from the students. Nonverbal cues enhances communication, then spoken guidance when teaching an instruction. It helps them um, emphasize, able to better understand what is being said on a verbal instruction. Adding nonverbal cues can help better defy what the teacher is saying. Number two, using pictures and diagrams to show the students the details of the instruction helps the student better understand the meaning under the lesson. It is known to provide clarity and predictability by reducing confusion from the student. Number three, creating a routine for the students to rely on can help reduce anxiety and emotional frustration due to the different changes in the classroom. Some support and strategies for speech and language impediments. Creating an inclusive classroom for the students can encourage communication. The students need positive reinforcement for participating will allow the students to feel positive about the lessons and their impediments. They will they will definitely feel better about speaking and having to ask questions towards the teacher if they have a positive reinforcement to make them feel good. Visual aids are also a needed principle for students to create an understanding of the lesson, what is required from the student. Basically, autism, speech and language impediments both require visual aids to help the student guide to a better understanding of what is being taught in the instruction. Number one, allowing the students to work in groups to allow communication with another can help practice speech and language skills. Having the support or other students will help encourage the student to try and engage with the classroom. It definitely reduces their anxiety for their need to express their thoughts and ideas. Number 2, creating meetings with the classroom can encourage the students to participate with the teacher and peers, allowing the student to have the chance to express their thoughts and ideas about the instruction of their well-being promotes positive reinforcement. Encouraging the student to speak and express their thoughts will help the student better their speech and language skills as they communicate and participate with others in the classroom. This will also help the student to ask questions about the instruction or to ask for help. Giving the students an opportunity to express any doubts, any bad vibes can help the student feel more comfortable in the classroom. It's good to have teachers build a sense of trust between the student and themselves so the student can feel comfortable if they have any issues with the instruction or with the classroom. Number 3, using visual aids to support verbal instructions will help the student understand the lesson with additional support from a picture, graph, hands-on activities, or multimedia presentation. Here are some educator standards and connections. Educators are expected to consider how to implement behavior supports within the IEP, aka the Individualized Education Program, to support the needs of a student in school, especially within an instruction. The PBIS, Positive Behavioral Interventions and Supports. The PBIS is a system of approach to creating safer and effective schools. The purpose of the PBIS is to prevent challenging student behavior for social and learning outcomes within the classroom. Educators are connected to the PBIS to ensure the needs of students with disabilities. It is expected for the educator to create an instruction following each tier to ensure success and to acknowledge their needs within the classroom. The PBIS helps the student to ensure academic success, engagement, and deep understanding. Tier 1 is universal primary prevention. Tier 2 is targeted secondary prevention. Tier 3 is intensive tertiary prevention.